everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Code with KYP, and I'm Karma. Today we are going to continue our previous tutorial about core data. In the previous tutorial, we learn how to save the data and how to fetch data and show it to the table view. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn about how to search a user by its first name, and also how to delete the user from this table view and from the data also. Let's do this. So in our search button last time we create we will write a code about all those regarding searching of the user. First I will complete the code and then I will explain it to you. Let request equal to ns, and let request is equal to ns fetch request result, ns fetch request, and then ns fetch request result equals, and we say entity name, and we'll keep the name users, and then let search string is equal to self dot search self dot okay, this search text field, and dot text, this one is question mark, the text, and request dot predicate is equal to ns predicate, and we are using format, and that is our first name, which is equal to percentile and at the rate, comma, and this one here we write search string. Where is our search? Okay, I will strng string. We have to change this and make here the wrong spelling, search string. So this is the right one, and wrap it. Now this 3 line of code, here we are making we are creating a request object. Inside that we are putting all the users data, the users means inside the core data model we create a user like John Wick and Van Diesel. All those data we are fetching it and uploading into the request. And then search string, we are creating a variable search string constant as a constant search string, and that search string we are getting from the searched text field. And then request dot predicate, now we are requesting a predicate from the database. It's like we get all the users data into the request, and from the user now we are filtering all the data which are having that first name. This one is format, we are going through the attribute of the user first name attribute, and then we are checking whether that search string first name is equal to the attribute or not. If its attribute is equal, then we are uploading into the request predicate. So Then as I told you before, for whenever we like fetch or delete or save, we have to use this code do. Then we'll say try then do let result is equal to try context dot fetch request, this one, and inside this we will write re request. Okay, in this code why this is showing one error, I'll check what error is at this. Okay, no, it's useless error, so it's okay, and we'll say catch, and we'll print the error if it's cat problem with fetching data, and we'll print that error. So here we'll get all the users whose names is equal to the search first name of the search string inside that result. And then if result dot count is greater than 0, now when you get all the name which is equal to that first name, like John, then it will fetch all the data which are having the first name John. So when we get this all data into result, and it will check whether the result will have a value that is greater than 0. If this greater than 0, that means we are having a user which have the same first name as a search string. And then we will go let first name is equal to so it's result 0 dot value for key, and we are finding attribute of our first name, so we'll try this value for key first name. Okay, and we don't need this one extra value, only this much we need value for, and we need that convert into as a string. Okay, so we'll check this, they will show give us error. Okay, now done. I will explain it to you later. Let me finish the code. Second name is equal to, now we write the same code as above. Result is equal to 0 dot value for string. Now we need second name, and we don't, I told you again, this is counting here, we don't need this extra value, and we need this as a string. We are casting it, so it will give the same error. We'll fix that just like this. Okay. Now here what we are doing is when you get all the users which are having this same first name as a search string, then it will check this would, if result.count is greater than 0, that means we are having a user which have the same first name as a text search string. And from that, if there's a 2 users and we are picking the first user, that is index at 0, right? And here inside the first name we are getting the value of first name of the user attribute, and we are uploading it into the first name, and same as from second attribute we are updating into the second name. And then we'll say self dot search result label dot text is equal to first name, this one first name, and we'll make some space and we'll add second name. Now inside the from above we'll get first name and second name of first user. Now we are combining these two strings, first name and second name, and we are showing this full string into our search result label that we create inside our first view controller. And then if now we check here if the we'll check here and go. I don't know why it's showing some error here. We'll check this and fix this. No, we don't have to do this. Okay, let me finish this one. Not done. Okay, we check the users. Whether there is user which is having same name as same first name as that search string, and if there's no user, now it comes a condition else, and we have to self dot search result label dot text, which is equal to, we'll say no user found with that. No user, always only is no user. We'll write it's a no user. Now done with our this one searching. Now we'll check this code. Okay, let's make it up. Okay, first we will see all the users, John Wick and Van Diesel. Now we'll go back and now we'll search. We'll write John. Now that is first name, right? We search. There's exception handling. We got some problem. I don't know why. Okay, let's see what's the problem. It's send to figure parties comment developer and then an exception within these will not give value coding is second name. Okay, now I got the problem. Okay, why I did this? See here, I put the wrong attribute name. It's not capital A, it's small a. Okay, now we run this again. Please load fast. Why it's so slow? Okay, we'll go check the John Wick and Van Diesel users, then go back and we'll find John, the first name. Now see John Wick. Okay, now if we write Win, it will show the Van Diesel. Now if we write a wrong name, okay, let's say my name Karma. Okay, search. Now it will show no user. Okay, that's great. Now we will create good user and we will delete the user if you want to delete. Right now we can't delete, so we'll do that and we'll make that. Okay, let's go to our user view controller and then we'll go to here. Here is we are creating now. Okay, here there's one method in a table view where we can edit the table view, so we'll call that method that is commit this one, yeah, commit editing style. So we'll call this function and here we'll make some space and we'll write code. Let I told you we have to call this context every time you want to delete, create or delete, fetch or save. UI application dot shared dot delegate as app delegate. Come on, app delegate. So dot persistent container dot view context. Okay, after creating the context, now this one is for a table view. Okay, view editing style. You are seeing editing style, we need delete, right? Delete style. Now this method is telling the table view that we need delete editing style, and then we'll fetch the data. First let user is equal to user 80 and then index path dot row. Yep. Now inside whichever row we choose inside, okay, I will show you here inside this. See. Now this is the row 1, this is row 2, and so when we choose, like select this row, and it will save the John Wick data into the user. And if you want to delete this John Wick, so it's the row inside first row we have John Wick and it will delete the John Wick. The logic is this one. Then now I told you context dot delete, this one is for deleting and we want to delete users, right? We want to delete the users at this index path dot row. Okay, the first row, if you want to delete the first row that it's John Wick, then it will you click to the first row and the editing style is delete, then it will save the John Wick into the user and you will go to the context and delete the John Wick from the user database. Now okay, then again we have to write actually we don't have to write this one, we can say context dot delete use context dot save, context dot save. We will say save. I think if I'm not wrong this code will run. If it's not, I think yeah, this one, context dot save. No, it's showing some error. Okay, I think you don't need, oh yeah, I know, this one is UI application dot share from app delegate. Now we are calling the function save as I show you before. Right now after this I will show you again. Share app dot delegate, okay, as and as we need app delegate dot save contacts. Okay, now from inside the user we delete one user, right? According to the row we delete the example John Wick, we delete John Wick. Now we have to again save the data, right? After deleting we have to save the data so that the database know that you delete some John Wick, and it will update the whole database. And this line of code we are going to the app delegate, okay, and we are calling the function called save, this one, save contacts, so that it will delete the John Wick and it will save our whole user again, database again. Okay, now after this saving this one, save database. Now I told you before while saving I always told you that we have to do this condition too, and we'll say user array which is equal to try, you say contacts dot fetch request. No, yeah, I'll tell you, there are something, not this one, we need this one, yeah, user dot fetch request. Okay, and after this we need to catch if there is error while fetching the data. Okay, catch, and we'll print the error directly. We'll print the error. Okay, done. Let's go. Okay, now after deleting, here we save the context, right? Here we are calling a save method from the app delegate, and in this line we are again we are fetching the data, okay, fetching the data from users. Okay, we inside this we update the user, we delete, and now again we are calling the we are seeing the users and fetching the data from it, and we are taking all the users and putting into the users array. So why we are doing this is like when we delete someone, the users and we need to like update the table view again, so it won't show the deleted user. Okay, and then after this print. Okay, now we'll make this line work. Okay, this one, then we will say table view. Okay, table view dot reload data after deleting, and then we'll say reload the data. Now this one is perfect. Now let's see whether this one is working or not. Okay. First you see these two users, John Wick and Vin Diesel. Now if I want to delete, see we are choosing the first row, okay, row at index path. Inside the first row we have data John Wick. Now when we select this row and the editing style is delete, and now when you click this delete button, it will go to the row index and it will choose the John Wick, and then from users inside our data model, it will delete the user which has name John Wick, first name John and second name Wick. It will delete this Wick, John Wick. So I'll say delete. Now it's gone. See, again we will go and see the is Venticell. Okay, now if I say I will show again, I will do Venticell. See, there's no data. Now even if you like inside the main core data that we are doing, when we like wait, okay, I will first John, I will say Wick. Okay, we'll save this user. I will check the user. This John Wick. If there's like, we'll say when this cell okay, save user. Now we go to this one, this true user. Now we will close this application. Okay, now if you don't use core data, and then while we like and close this application, and you lost all the data that you stored, like example John Wick and Venticell, but when you use core data, it keeps those data in it keeps the data into your mobile storage so that it won't lose. Okay, like persistent container. Now if you go to core data again, you see there's your users are still there, it's not lost. Okay, see, John Wick and Venticell is there, and that's what core data does. And it's a complete tutorial of how to save user, how to fetch the data from the data model and then show it into the table view. After that, you can search by predicate by first name and delete first name, and then you can delete those users from the database. That's all for core data. And please, if you like my video, don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up and wait for my next tutorials. Thank you.